Hi, I'm Mark Caesar with Ed Clements and Sergeant Sam. Welcome to the vodcast. President-elect Barack Obama. I think you predicted he would win last Friday, didn't you?
I predicted last week. I feel a change already. Don't you feel the change? The winds of change. It's already here in the vodcast room. Everything is okay. Yeah, I thought he was going to win because you could read the tea leaves in the closing weeks. He had all the momentum, and when it was early too. It was 10 o'clock when he was declared the winner. I'm surprised it came that early, but the end came very, very quickly for John McCain and Sarah Palin.
What were the keys to Obama's victory?
Better organization, more money, and I think it was a terrible, terrible time for a Republican to win. With the ongoing war, the disaster that's happening in the economy, I think it was all picture perfect for a Democrat to win this election.
Sam, right up until the end, you still thought McCain would pull it out.
I really did. Of course, I was wrong. And, I'm willing to give Barack a good honeymoon period to see what he's going to be like.
What, a couple hours or what?
No, it'd be a little longer than that. But the fact of the matter is, I think McCain really let us down because he didn't fight the good fight. He really didn't. He was very docile. He was very gentle. He didn't really come out with all what he should come out with. And the Republican Party has gone so far toward the center. They've gotten away from the core basics of what less government, less spending, all these different core values. They just totally got away from it, and they're acting like Democrats. Well, when you act like Democrats, you get beat.
Well, down the home stretch, though, McCain's central message was, I'm the guy that'll cut your taxes and spend less in Washington. He's the guy that's going to tax you more. That sounds a lot like what you're advocating.
It does,
here.
but it's too little too late. And the fact of the matter is he was tagged with a party that had spent more. Mm-hmm. He was tagged with a party that had created more government, and he flew to Washington to bail out against the wishes of the American public, all these fat cats on Wall Street. And I think that killed him as far as the election.
And I think it also hurt him, too, when he said, we'll buy all the bad mortgages up, too.
Yeah.
That was not a good move by his campaign at all.
People that have worked hard and paid their mortgages were saying, what?
Well, some people are saying that it wasn't so much the fact that he voted for the bailout, it's how he acted in that week when he said, I'm halting my campaign,
yeah.
No more advertising, I don't want to debate on Friday night, I'm going back to Washington. That somehow the public watched that and said, this guy's kind of shaky. He's not smooth and controlled and even-handed.
Well, I didn't disagree with him going back to Washington, taking care of the people's business, because it was a genuine, bona fide emergency situation. But then again, it's all in how the general public views it. And if they viewed him as being a little wishy-washy about it. Well, actually, he went there and voted for the bailout, and the general public was against it.
Against
him. How can you win?
I think it was almost impossible for a Republican to win this thing because, especially when the economy collapsed, that was just a death knell to any Republican. And you see that around the country when Republicans lost because people were voting out of their pocketbook.
He really failed to articulate exactly why all of this perfect storm occurred.
That's a good point about the Democrat involvement.
He had a perfect opportunity. They had people in Washington asking questions that should be on the hot seat answering questions.
Yeah.
Obama was very consistent from the earliest stages of the Democratic primary right through Election Day this week. You have to give him and his team a lot of credit for their organization and the skill that they used to execute their plan. They stayed right on their plan. They beat the Clintons in the primaries. No one thought he could knock off the Clinton machine. He did that.
And it was an amazing comeback because remember he lost 8 of the last 9 primaries to Hillary. He stayed on point. He didn't go off when the Republican convention was over, when John McCain named Sarah Palin. They got a bump. He stayed the course, and just a lot of things fell in the right way for him.
His group was panicked when they first announced Sarah Palin, and they
didn't know who she was. They did not know who she was.
They saw the popularity.
Well, look what Joe Biden said. We're talking about Hillary Clinton. Maybe she'd have been a better vice president than me. Yeah, they were reeling in that, but.
And that's where McCain really made his mistake. I guess it must be the machoism in him. That the fact is they kept a lid on her, kept her kind of pushed back, didn't really bring her forward enough, because she was the only reason he got as many votes as he got and as close as he was.
And in the last couple of days, a lot of McCain's people have been shoveling dirt on Governor
Yeah.
Sarah Palin, and you're just boiling over that.
I think they ought to, I think their names ought to be on a list of do not hire, because I tell you.
Well, their names are not appearing in these stories. It's all anonymous sources.
Yeah, and I hate that. If you don't have cojones enough to stand forthwith before camera like we are, say what you think, and say who you are, you're gutless. Totally gutless.
I especially,
Why are they doing this?
I like
Why are
this-
they throwing dirt on
Because
her?
they're afraid that she is going. They want to They don't want her to be that powerful because she has that conservative message, and for some stupid reason, there's groups in there think you have to be a moderate Republican
See,
to win.
I disagree with that, Sam. I think they recognize that she didn't know enough to be vice president. She was somewhat of an unguided missile. We got to remember, bless her heart, she wanted to speak. She had a speech in hand to make a speech Tuesday night in the concession speech before Senator McCain, and they said, you're not doing it, and they took the speech away. So they felt very uneasy about
take it
Sarah
away from
Palin, and he just took the speech back from me. That's much like they did, just like that. So I still think she's going to be a political force in the next 4, 8, 12 years.
I don't think you can keep her down. I really don't. Once the American voting public got a taste of what she's all about, it just won't. They want more.
See, I still think she's got to come more to the center, Sam, because she's out there with the right-wing evangelicals and a lot of things.
That's what got the Republicans beat this time.
The right-wing evangelicals
No,
got
the
'em beat
idiots
again.
think you've got to go to the center.
No, see, Sam, you're wrong about that one. You've
Well,
been
then why
wrong for
didn't they
several
win?
years.
They
What?
went to the center. Why didn't they
They
win?
did not go to the
Oh,
center. He
yeah.
named Sarah Palin, who's out there in right field catching fly balls with you.
But your point is the lead candidate, McCain, was
Yeah.
in the center.
He
He's
was
not
the
a
one-
conservative.
He was the one that was running. He was. His team was going toward the center. They said, "Oh man, maybe we better do something to get our base with us as well." Well, they did that, but they still kept going toward the center, shutting her up after they fired the base up, and they lost.
We both agree Republicans need to talk about taxes and spending and strong national defense. That should be the focus.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
keep doing this.
Okay.
I get enough of him in 4.5 hours, man.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
We're going to keep doing the vodcasts every Friday right here on 590klbj.com. And please join us on the radio every weekday morning, 5:30 to 10 on KLBJ.